tonight we are joined by the founder of Stand United Canada, Freak Schep. What is going on, sir?
What's up, man?
How's it going? Yeah, that's so funny that you say that, because most people, the first time they see my name, they say Freak, and
Freak?
at this point I get used to it, but it's pronounced Freak. I always say Drake Freak or Rake Freak.
Oh,
No, it's Freak around here. It's like we got a commenter.
sorry, sorry.
We got a commenter on here whose name's Rusty Wiener, and we're like,
Oh,
no,
right
no,
here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Rusty
No,
Wiener around.
it's
around
Wiener.
these
It's
parts.
Rusty
Yeah.
Wiener.
Yeah,
Sorry,
get out of here
bro.
with a Wiener.
But
Yeah,
that's
you got a
that's what Dutch names do to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there you go. So let me ask you this. So you are organizing a Canada-wide protest on January 31st.
Yeah, tell us more.
Great thing. You approached me a few months ago to share it. I did. But then I saw that you posted with a bigger account. I can't remember who it was. Somebody else reposted you. That caught my interest. I'm like, oh shit, this actually is growing. Since last time I checked your accounts, it's been growing. So talk to us about, I got a bunch of questions, especially because you're young, right? You look like you can't even grow a beard yet. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 22 years old. I do have some facial hair, but
I love it. Don't take this as an insult. On the contrary, it's something we need more youngsters to be taking over this, because it's not me as a 43-year-old that's going to inspire a 16-year-old or an 18-year-old to get involved with what's going on in politics. So what inspired you to do this, and does your faith have anything to do with it?
yeah, so I started Stand United Canada years ago. It was actually close to the Freedom Convoy, and since then I've been kind of organizing protest for different topics. A couple of years ago we did against the carbon tax, and then a few months ago we did a farmers protest after what happened at the with the CFIA at the ostrich farm, and ever since we've just been going organizing things. 1 million March for Children. We did a vigil for Charlie Kirk. So yeah, we just try to stay on topic on what's happening. And right now, after what happened in China, and when Carney mentioned the World New Order, we couldn't be quiet anymore. And this was our time to organize something bigger. And yeah.
So basically you're saying that it has to do with the New World Order that he's talking about. Does that have anything to do with the censorship bills, like the C2, C8, C9, C12, C16, and the new bill C63 that will be retabled soon?
Yeah, all the bills that are going out, especially for free speech, especially as someone as faith, like you mentioned earlier, we are at a, this is the point where we have to stand up and show, because it's soon going to be that we won't be able to go out in public to share our faith on the streets, because the government will just censor us or stop us or ban us or whatever they will do. Yeah.
So is this sorry, it's protest. Is it just one, or is it one location? Is it across many cities, or how is
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're going to do in every major city across Canada. We're going to do citywide marches. That's kind of the idea behind it, to get hundreds, thousands, hopefully will show up to these marches and just fill the city up with people, because that's what we want. We just want to have people out there in the cities marching. It doesn't matter if they're going by government buildings or not. It's just more for the presence and showing that Canadians, we have enough, and we're still here, and we're not going to be quiet.
For the guys that are interested, here's a post that you guys published yesterday. And yeah, that's who it was, Proud Canuck. That's who I approached. I saw the post that you were tagged in. I approached him. I'm like, hey, bro, you got to give me the contact of this young man. I want to have him on the show. So for you guys that are interested, this is what we're talking about: nationwide protests against Mark Carney and the Liberal Party of Canada. every major city across Canada. Carney must go. More details coming soon. That was shared yesterday, and you already have like 13,000 likes on it, which is great considering the size of your account. That is massive. So good for you. Obviously, it is something that is needed today, especially. And the reason I wanted to talk to you is because your youth has something to play with it. Because if you look, I was just looking at the data earlier, and I'm just going to share it on screen for the viewers so that you get an idea of what I'm talking about. But there's a new poll by Abacus data that just came out that is indicating that here is the federal vote intention per party. Obviously, we're going to stick around the blue and the red, which is the conservative versus the liberals. If you look for the 18th to 29th, Abacus data is saying that 50% would vote conservative, 27% would vote liberal, 30 to 44, that's my age group, 41 to 41 would vote conservative, 35 liberal, so it's a lot closer. Now, if you go to the 45 to 59, you're looking at 43% conservative, 39% liberal. But where the massive difference is 60 and over. So the 60 and over, you're looking at 32% of intent are conservative compared to the 52% of intentions would be towards the liberals. So if you can see, it's almost a complete reversal of the 18 to 29 and the 60 and over. But where it gets really interesting is if you look at the data, because this is the what Abacus data said, and that was released on the 14th, so 4 days ago. But if you look at the outpolls from the last federal election, it's great that the youth are more conservative than ever. But if you look at the numbers, only 44% of Canadian youth showed up to vote, compared to the 76% that came out to vote for the 60 and above. So we'll call them boomers for the sake of argument. So is this what this protest is about? You want to inspire the youth to get involved because they're not turning out to vote the way other age groups are?
Yeah, I think for people my age in this generation, these kind of protests going out there, these kind of rallies, is a way to inspire. And me, I started different accounts actually called Freak Schep, and I'm going out there and doing street interviews and asking hard questions, and I'm trying to expose to the youth, to my generation, how the liberals react to questions I ask. And that makes them to start thinking, okay, should I be actually trusting this or following this or liking the way they do things? So I kind of mix the rallies and the protest with, what I'm doing on the side. And so far that's been working pretty well. I'm growing actually a number of my generation, a group of them, to go to these protests. So
yes, speaking of generations, what's the average demographics that you're expecting for this protest?
Yeah, so normally in the past, it's mainly been a mix of, ages. It's been probably, I would say, from 18 till 60. But mainly it was probably 85%, 30 to 60. Yeah, I would say more boomers than anything. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is true. Like, we have a comment first. Rusty, sorry for your ears, Freak, but Rusty, fuck off. Yes, I almost said federal erection. I caught myself. I was going to say federal erection for some reason, but yeah, thanks for showing it. But if you look at the numbers, it totally makes sense because it was over 60%. What was it? 60% of the people that showed up. Yeah, 52% of people over 60 voted. Sorry, no, that wasn't it. Hold on, that's not the right post. This is the post I'm talking about. It was 76% of boomers voted, so it makes sense. Even though it's 50% voted for liberals, only 30% voted conservative, that they're the main people that show up. But I'm hoping that a guy your age will inspire youngsters to show up. Because that's why I was happy to see you do it and growing, so people are paying attention. But what differentiates you from, let's say, a Joe Anujar, the founder of Canada First movement, that just recently, I think it was on the 10th, it was last week, he organized a Canada First protest in Toronto. And as much as, like, him and I have spoken before, like we send texts every now and then, as much as I think his idea is great, his gathering never seems to bring out that many people. What do you think is different about you? And do you think you'll be able to get the type of numbers that we just saw in Toronto over the weekend? Like, we literally, there's reports out there that I have problems believing. I don't think there were that many people, because I've been in protests of 100,000 people, and they seemed a lot bigger than what I've seen. But there were tens of thousands of people showing up in Toronto in support of the protest in Iran. Do you think you'll be able to duplicate that right here? Because up to now, I have not seen, outside of Freedom Convoy or what happened during COVID, any other protest that was as big as what we saw for Iran over the weekend.
Yeah, I totally respect what Joe's doing in Toronto. He's doing his own thing there, and he's so focused only on Toronto, growing his community. He's doing monthly, rallies there. But the problem is everything is so expensive now. People are not going to drive very far to go to a protest or a rally. People are not going to drive from British Columbia, let's say, to Ottawa anymore. That's just not going to happen. And so that's why we are doing a nationwide protest, so people can go to their nearest cities. And I think that more people will show up because it's closer, less gas money, cheaper for them. And I think that's what's important, is doing something that's more convenient for the people to show up. But when it comes to the Iran protest, I think Canadians are still, dealing with some sort of fear that if there were something big to happen like this, that police might come out in heavy forces and arrest people or give people fines. And that's the problem. People are just too fearful after what happened and with the Freedom Convoy, and that we just need more bold people to stand up. And
I want to take one of the questions from Rusty Wiener. I'd like to know what he seizes in his peers when talking to them. Are the younger generation more red-pilled than the millennials?
I'm supposed to answer that?
That one's for you, man.
In your opinion.
I don't really know what the red pills or the millennials mean, but
the red pills basically mean that you've seen The Matrix, obviously. You take the red and the blue pill. You take the blue pill if you want to continue living the lie. You take the red pill if you want to know the truth. Red pill simply means that it's the beginning of the truth. You're ready. You know there's a problem. You might not know what the problem actually is now, but you're ready to wake up to, let's say, our government being tyrannical since 2020. Everything that they've done to us through COVID, through the lockdowns, through what they did through the convoy. Realizing this could mean you were red-pilled. Like, something's wrong. You might not know what to do about it, but you know something's wrong. Is that what you're seeing from your generation? Is they know something is wrong, they just don't know what to do about it, or they don't know quite what's wrong yet?
Yeah, I think they're kind of at this point in their life that they just don't care. They're blinded. They don't want to go out and put the effort in to really care what's going on. A lot of my friends, they literally say that, like, Frank, why are you so interested in politics? Isn't Canada fine? But while I see, like, okay, my future is at risk because I soon might not be able to buy a home or afford a home because it's so expensive. So I see where things are going, but they don't see that. And so they're blinded in that way. And that's I feel like that's what's holding them back.
Was something you wanted to add to that, Rob?
No, I was just, I'm pretty impressed. You're only 22 years old, and you're quite conscientious. Certainly, I was not disengaged at your age when I was.
But he's a liberal, so don't
Yeah,
be too surprised that he wasn't
or
engaged.
ever, to be honest. I've never been that engaged ever. No, I'm just kidding, but yeah, no, I just want to say, congratulations to you, and keep it up. What's next then for this? Is this do you intend to kind of keep this going, make this a regular thing?
Yeah, so we tried to do a monthly thing. Normally it's a different topic, but everything that's been recently happening, we tried to do it completely focused on Mark Carney and the Liberal government and just having accountability. I think that's the main thing right now. Canadians need is accountability after everything that's been going on. And yeah, so we'll be hitting the streets January 31st across Canada, every major city, and that's what we want is accountability.
What's the results you'd like to reach? Like, what would make January 31st a success in your eyes?
Yeah, really having the presence of the people there. When the people show up, the media shows up, and it's far out there, right? When the media shows, if it's the right media, they really can't hide hundreds and thousands of people. They just can't do that. So if a lot of people show up out there, like, I think that's gonna have an effect on the government somehow.
One of the things that I see as a problem in Canada, at least because we had Chris Barber on the show a few weeks back, and one of the questions I asked him is if he would be involved in another ish freedom convoy for the censorship bills that the Liberals are trying to pass, the C2, C8, C9, C12, C16, C63. And I'm paraphrasing obviously right now, but his answer was pretty much, I served my time, because he's still under house arrest right now. He's still paying the price for 2022, and he wants others to take over. But what he was also saying is he's more focused now on Saskatchewan becoming independent. And considering what's going on in Alberta right now, where a lot of the freedom, because it seems that a lot of the freedom fighters in Canada are from the West or the Central or West Canada. It seems like Quebec and Ontario is not as interested in the freedom movement. Do you think it's going to be problematic because Alberta and Saskatchewan is so focused on doing their own thing, that is trying to get sovereignty for their own province?
Yeah, well, I'm actually getting messages every day from people saying, I'm focusing on Alberta, what you just said.
Yeah.
And you guys, good luck with your protests. Like, have fun. But we're going to separate, and we're going to do our own thing. And that's the thing, right? They're not focused on the rest of Canada, or they're still part of Canada right now. They're still dealing with the same issues, but they want to lay their focus on there because they think it's going to happen soon. So,
but do you think that's going to play a role, that's going to play, I don't want to say against you, but technically it would, because they're more interested in, they're tired of dealing with Ottawa. They've been taken advantage of for too long, that they don't want to be involved anymore. They just want to separate. Quebec is possibly going the same way in 2026. We're going to have an election here, and the party that's leading is a separatist party, a very open separatist movement. That's what they want. They want to separate from Canada. So you're looking potentially at Quebec, you're looking at potentially Alberta, and from what we know, having spoken to Jeff Rath last week, he was on another show that I'm on, and he admitted that he is in talks with the party representative of the separatist party in Canada, in Quebec, that is leading in the polls right now massively. So they're organizing, they're going to help each other get their independence. So I'm just wondering, do you think it's going to play a role, it's going to make it more difficult for people to care about Canada?
Well, I think Alberta is definitely, majority conservative, and they really show up when it comes to protest. So if they do separate, it's going to bring a big effect on the rest of Canada for the people who actually go out there, show up, and do something. yeah, at that point, it would just be the rest of Canada having to wake up to seeing what's really going on in this country and taking a stand. Because once Alberta is separated, then it's on us to take that role, take that responsibility.
Anything you wanted to add, Rob?
No. I mean, like I said, very well spoken, young man. I think you've answered all the questions I had. Was there a couple? I think there's a couple questions that. Well, there's a comment. Or did you have some more to add, and then we can take some of the questions?
I can ask questions. I can ask a lot of questions, but take some of the comments.
Pam and AB, I applaud your involvement, Freak. We need more of your generation to engage.
I agree.
Yeah. Jason Lang says Alberta has not tried to separate before, so I don't get how we keep doing the same thing. Yeah. So one thing we talk about on the show a lot here, Frick, is the Alberta separation issue. It's obviously important to you as well. No one has a crystal ball, but we have a pretty good cross section of different voices. I always like to hear their opinion. What do you think is the timeline for this?
For like Alberta separating?
Yeah, I assume it's going to happen.
And
is this part of your movement, or is this just a sort of a personal political, position of yours separate from your movement?
Yeah, I don't know when it could happen or when it's going to happen, but I think Alberta has had enough, and they're seeing what's happening.
We keep hearing the same thing from everyone in Alberta.
Yeah, and they're educating, their friends, their family, their neighbors, and people are saying the same thing and the same message. And so once that, keeps rolling, keeps happening, at some point it's just going to happen. It just has to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think, I have a last question for you. Do you think do you think that Canada is going to have to get worse before it gets better?
For people to stand. I mean, we're right now at a point in Canada where things are soon going to get, really bad. I mean, we're seeing all these things. We're going into the new world order. It's just going to happen, and unfortunately, Canadians are, Canada's a very, respectful country. We're open to all these different things. Welcoming, yeah, a little too much, especially me from the Netherlands. We're a little more bold, and that's kind of where my inspiration comes from to lead a movement like this. But yeah, we got to be more bold to stand up there, because soon we won't be able to anymore. It will be too late. So we're at a tipping point right now in Canada where we have to do something. Like, it's crucial. Otherwise, yeah, it'll be too late.
Well, I want to thank you for responding to me. I want to thank you for joining the show, for coming here, and especially doing what you're doing. I want to wish you the best of luck on the 31st. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help, because as I said multiple times, and as you saw in the comments, we're very welcoming and impressed by the youth. We need more young people to speak out, even if I disagree with you, at least to show involvement, because it matters. It really matters. The youth are who's going to be responsible for taking over this mess. It's not going to be me. I'll be dead by the time you guys have to take over. So you're going to have to be there and do something about it. So yeah, good for you for doing what you do, and best of luck, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Frank.
Yeah, thanks for hosting.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yes, have a great day.